Welcome to Hotline TV. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm Sean Miller. It's time for another edition of VEEPSTAKES.
Yay! All right, Sean J. Miller, you have been following this very closely. Tell us who's up, who's down this week in VEEPSTAKES land.
Well, on the GOP side, Mitt Romney has gotten a few mentions this week. He appears to be, according to the Politico, on the top of John McCain's list.
Really? Do you really believe that? He's going to be up there? I mean, he's got I don't know if there's a whole lot of chemistry between these two.
Right, chemistry is the issue. What they're saying, though, is that fundraising is what he could bring to the table. It's being reported that he could bring in up to $50 million if he's added to the ticket fairly quickly. The other question is, though, looking back at his record in the primary, he put a lot of money and campaign organization into Iowa, and he came up flat. Money
doesn't always buy you love, Sean.
That's true.
We should all know that. Plus, donors don't necessarily convey with the VP, right?
That's
so
true.
That's another one. So who's getting the buzz on the Democratic side?
Well, actually, surprisingly, Joe Biden is being mentioned as a good VP pick for Barack Obama. And one of the reasons is that he brings gravitas, he brings experience to the ticket. On the national security side, he has foreign policy experience. And he's been out on the campaign trail this cycle. He has been under the spotlight, both in this cycle and back in '88. So he knows the ropes. He knows the ropes.
Except that, and again, this goes back to the fundamental question for Barack Obama, which is, do you bring somebody who's sort of old school, right? If you're the candidate who's moving forward, you're a different generation, do you bring somebody who's been in Washington as basically a full-time figure, right? And that's the question.
Right, and I think that comes back to balance, whether or not Barack Obama is looking for balance in this ticket. I think what people are saying is that is what he needs. That he does need somebody who can provide that national security experience that he lacks.
All right, now another person we heard a lot about, Wesley Clark.
Wesley Clark.
All right, so what does this all mean? This back and forth, which continues, and then talk about the fact Jim Webb now jumping in the middle of it.
Right, Jim Webb quoted as saying that John McCain needs to calm down about his military record.
So should these guys keep talking? These military guys who want to take John McCain on the military record, what gives?
Well, it's become, it started last Sunday, and it's become a story of the week. And so Wesley Clark has gotten very bad reviews for his comments in terms of how he's phrased them, but I think he's raising a fundamental point that Democrats will try to raise in the rest of the campaign, is whether or not John McCain's military experience qualifies him, or counts as judgment, is what they're saying. Does experience equal judgment? And that, is a fundamental question of the campaign. And
I know. This is where I'm gonna just go out and disagree with this. It's not your statement, but of many folks who believe that in order to win this thing, Barack Obama has to undermine this hero image or undermine his, this idea that his experience based on military, his military success equals good judgment, right? If this were another year, if this was, I don't know, maybe 2002, maybe 2004, when Iraq, terrorism, those issues were the top of the agenda, sure, he would have to start to get some traction on those issues and have to maybe put those issues into the mix. This is not that kind of year. We have economy, jobs, gas prices. That's what's dominating the voters' attention. And I just think any time, whether it's a military official or not, you bring up the issue of military service, it just puts Democrats back on the defensive, and it puts McCain exactly where he wants to be, which is talking about, his experience. And I just don't think that this is something that Democrats can win on. I don't think they should spend any more time on it. I think they should go back to the issues that they're already winning on: change, economy, jobs, and the fact that they don't have to go after John McCain's military record. He has a record in Washington. That's where I think, if you're Democrats, that's where you should spend your time. Get off the military thing. It's a no-win situation. That's what I think. All right. But we don't have any more time, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So we're going to leave you for this week, but make sure to check out Sean's VP. Now, what did we learn this week?
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. Sorry, that sounds a lot better. Lessons learned on the Hotline homepage. Until then, I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm Sean Miller. See you next time.